Metrocon. Metrocon handles things a little bit better, but then again, there's at least as far as knowing what to do with each guy in the autograph. They cut Scott McNeil line off very early because they know he visits. They know Scott will give you all the time in the world because he likes to sit and talk with people. So they block him off very early. The guys who go very fast, they give them a big long line. That kind of thing. They know what they're doing. But when the scheduling comes up, they don't. This year, Metrocon, it was the Inuyasha voice actors. Richard Ian Cox, Kirby Morrow, and Scott McNeil. So they all had autographs at the same time. They all had their panels at the same time. So I don't remember the times offhand. So like 2 o'clock, you'd go to room 13, and you'd sit and you'd hear the panel and enjoy it very much. Which, by the way, I did record the panel on Saturday. I had to miss the one on Sunday because of the chess match, but I was very close to the chess match this year. Awesome, awesome footage. Wait for it! I just love my footage. So, 2 o'clock, you would have the panel for the Inuyasha voice actors. And then 3 o'clock, you'd have their autograph session. Which would be fine if the autograph session was in that room and you just stood up from your seat and got in line. It's all the way across the convention hall. I mean, imagine like an L shape here. And the panel room is here. Then there's this big long hallway going this way, and then all the way up this other big long hallway to get into the dealer's room. So now you have to fight the crowd from the dealer's room and get all the way to the back wall of the dealer's room to get where they hold the autographs. Now keep in mind, there's about 100 people or so in this panel room, and they're all trying to get those autographs too. So they're charging out, trying to, it's a race all the way through the convention hall, trying to crash through the people who are just loitering around in the hallway waiting for their own panels. Then you have to go through the dealer room, crash and loiter through all of them, trying to get it away. Oh my god, there's a sword stand, I'm trying not to get impaled. And then we go all the way to the, and there's already 100 people in the line! A lot of people skipped the panels so they could get in line early. That sucked. Again, if you went to the panel to see Scott McNeil be Scott McNeil, and it's worth it to go to any panel Scott McNeil is in, because he's just so freaking funny, you will never get into his line if it's arranged that way. It's just not possible. Not remotely possible. And they did it all 3 days. All 3 days. The voice actors had a panel, and then they had an autograph session right after. You had to charge all the way through the hallway to get it. That's why I had to skip one, because if I wanted to get Richard Ian Cox, I had to skip that one. And I had to go to it after the chess match, and even the chess match, I almost didn't make it. They capped off the line like 5 people behind me. It was a huge. There needs to be like an hour in between when the panels are done and when the voice actors sign their autographs. And Scott McNeil needs the last panel of the night in the guest room, because he will stay, he will go over, he will, like he did last year, he'd stay up there for an hour and 40 minutes just answering questions and having fun, just because his fans are there and he doesn't want to upset anybody. I actually heard a really cool story about Scott, which was he's giving, if you see him at a show, he is giving with his email address, but he doesn't answer a single email. He reads everyone, doesn't answer a single one, because it wouldn't be fair to answer just the ones he had time to answer. So he reads them all, but he doesn't have the time to reply to them all, so he doesn't reply to any, because that's fair to everybody. And I thought that was actually kind of cool. It's nice to know he doesn't just go delete, like a fan spam folder. No, he's cool about that. But yeah, both conventions have their problems in scheduling. They need to figure this out. Metrocon has been experimenting through the years with what works better, and they really need to decide quick, because it's getting bad. I'll apologize if I keep looking over here. This is where all my notes are on my computer screen, and I know this is running really long. I might cut it off here and go to part 2 for Metrocon stories. You already saw the hall, though, so that's one out of the way. Since I was there for my birthday, for those who don't know, I go to Metrocon because my best friend drags me there. She pays, if it's in July, she pays my way because that's my birthday present for the year. Birthday's on July 16th, just in case anyone. Not a hint or anything. So this year, of course, yeah, it was a week from my birthday, so of course we go up there and big birthday, and she's looking for someone to buy me for my birthday without me knowing it. It's very hard to buy me something in secret because of that. Because despite what it looks like, I'm actually very fickle with my collection. There's a ton of stuff I've had the opportunity to get and don't want it. No. My Kamen Rider, I'm even worse. I mean, you wouldn't know it by looking at all the double stuff, but I freaking love Kamen Rider Double, so I've got a ton of his stuff. But there's just so much that I've passed on because just wasn't up to it. So it's very hard to get me something that I'm really, really psyched about, something I really want. So we're going through the hallway, we're going through all these dealer rooms and dealer panels, and we come up to one where I notice that sitting on the top shelf they have the Bumble Spud, the Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee Mr. Potato Head. And I know she had never seen one, so I pick it up, I show it to her, just to get a laugh out of her. You know, and the guy said, well, you know, those are getting really rare now. It's like, you know, I go, yes, because I'm trying to be nice to the dealers. It's rare because they stopped producing it. Big Bad Toy Store was given away for like $5 just to get rid of the damn thing. He wanted 45. Wow, you are ambitious. You're also a dick. So put that back. I showed no interest in it. I just showed it to her to get a laugh. I've been showing her things all day to get a laugh out of her. So, you know, we split ways. I go to get us good seats in the next panel. She comes up about 10 minutes later with a bag in her hand, and it's just clear enough that I can tell she bought that Bumble Spud. You know, so she felt really, you know, I want to, like, I know you're supposed to be gracious, you know, it's like, you know, it'd be something that I'd throw in the closet and never look at. It's, you know, it's kind of cute and funny at the first glance, but then it's just butt ugly, because Transformer movie parts on a Mr. Potato Head just don't work. So, I didn't want the money to go to waste. You know, because that guy ripped her off. Bad. Bad. Didn't want that to happen, so we took it back. She exchanged it for something she was going to get for a friend of hers later on anyway. Thank God she didn't buy him at the same time. So, I don't have the Bumble Spud. Someone else has a good birthday present now. So, that's better. That's better. I'd rather the money go to someone else instead of being absolutely wasted like that. And at least what she traded it in for was worth $45. It was not a cheap piece of plastic nobody wanted. So that was bad. Oh, and I would like to proudly announce that Phase 2 of Fame and Fortune is now complete. I got recognized at Metrocon. Now, Part 1 was getting recognized at BotCon. That's easy. It's all Transformer fans. Getting recognized at Metrocon. Very little Transformer presence at all. None whatsoever, almost. So, that was very difficult. I didn't get it last year. You know, when I had about 1,700. This year, when I left, I had 4,440 some subscribers. So that was maybe this year, maybe. I think it was Saturday. I think it was sometime Saturday afternoon. 2 people came up to me at the same time, and they both recognized me. Friday. It was Friday. They both recognized me because I had the Addict shirt on. They both recognized the logo. So, you know, they came up to me, and they didn't know me from Transformers or Kamen Rider. They knew me because of the documentaries I did for last year's Metrocon. And they thought, you know, they were amazingly impressed. They really loved my stuff. One of them said, I watched all of your Metrocon videos last night before I came here. Wow. You know, because I posted a ton of videos from Metrocon last year, so that was very cool that he liked it that much. So that was awesome. That made me feel great. So that was cool. That was cool to be recognized for those, because for those, if you haven't watched those, I'm very, very proud of them. I'm very proud of those videos. It's because I put everything into it. It's my first major piece of editing work. I put everything I had into those. And for those who enjoyed it, oh, thank you so much. It's like my crowning achievement there. And I'm going to do the same this year. I'm going to put even more into it this year because I've figured out so much more in the editing process. I've done things like TJTV, which is a mammoth editing job. So this year, compared to my first attempt last year, is going to be a breeze. I'm going to have a lot more ability and a lot more creativity and a lot more leeway to do little things that I didn't get to do before. Little touches and polish and things, and it's going to be even cooler. Watch for it. Don't know when I'm going to get around to it. But Saturday was even cooler. I got out of a sword demonstration, and you're going to love the footage from the sword demonstration this year. It was awesome stuff. I was getting up to leave, and someone asked, "Can I take a photo of you?" Now, the little fame button from Metrocon didn't click back on in my head right away. I was like, I still had to get back into gear about, oh wait, people might know me. And I was thinking, like, do I look like an anime character? Is there someone I recognize? Do I resemble someone? Because Saturday I wore the double driver all day and a green shirt, so I thought, like, I'm like a really, really cheap Philip right now. If I'm cosplaying anybody, I didn't need like barrettes in my hair to finish it off. Barrettes in my hair and a book in my arm. It was like, but no, she recognized me from YouTube, from TJOmega, and it's like, wow. You know, I didn't have the Attic shirt on. I didn't have anything I've ever worn in a video on. So it's like, just amazed me that I got recognized out of nowhere by hair on my head alone. And it turns out she was able to recognize me because she has a friend that apparently looks quite a bit like me. And, you know, I asked if it was a clone or something. It was like, if it was my evil anti-clone. Like, no, because he really likes video games and loves Transformers too. Okay, this is like mirror universe thing now. That's weird. To know that somewhere out there is like another me, it's kind of weird. Just a little strange. It's cool, but it's strange. But it's very cool to be recognized with no stimuli whatsoever. Just pure facial recognition. Awesome. That was cool. So step 3 is no outside stimuli. This is a recognition in public without anyone ever knowing, without being at a geek show, without being at a Transformer show, just in the now, in the moment, somewhere where I shouldn't be recognized. That's the final step. So, let's hope for it. Yeah, I'm not really an egomaniac, I swear. I swear to God. I think nothing of myself. I'm a jackass with a camera. What can I say? Then there is Scott McNeil. I finally have my I ran into Scott McNeil story. Everyone at BotCon was telling me about how they ran into Scott McNeil. Joe, I don't care if you went drinking with him. I wasn't there! If you know someone who's a huge fan of somebody like that, and you have a story that's like, dude, I went drinking with him, keep it to yourself. Especially if the person you're telling it to was in the vicinity and it was possible for them to be there as well, because that's just cruel. It's twisting the knife in my spleen. But I have my story. Saturday night, it rained just a little, but it was enough that the outside area was too damp for the fire show. I missed the fire show again. If it wasn't Joe and his traffic jam, it's Mother Nature screwing me over. So once again, I don't have fire show footage. I was counting on that. Well, maybe I'll get lucky and next year it won't be a One Piece theme. It'll be even better. I should hope so. I got there's going to be 2 years of anticipation by then. Anyway, I'm walking back to the hotel because my plans are blown and there's no other panels going on that interest me. So I'm walking across the sky bridge from the convention center to the hotel when who should be coming up the other way but Scott McNeil himself and his handler, who I wish I knew her name because I'm starting to meet her and get to know her. I'm starting to run into her a lot now. So he recognizes me. That was a cool thing. Scott doesn't forget a face, but he's bad with names. And I think I'm starting to get to the point where he's starting to remember my name a little better. Next year, I gotta make sure my name tag is hidden, and we're gonna make sure he actually can spot me and knows my name without any help. So he shakes my hand, he's going by, I said, where are you going? I said, we're gonna go see some fire. I was like, no you're not, they canceled it. And his handler goes, no, it's back on. Ooh, that's good information to know. I'm following back there. So I'm walking around the convention center, literally around, because it's an outside thing. We're going this way, taking an escalator, going all the way around to the back with Scott and his little entourage of little couple of Metrocon security, his handler. So I'm walking with Scott. We were making like little jokes and quips as we go, and so it's like it's very cool. It's very cool. I'm palling around with Scott McNeil. I love it. We sit down, we slide chairs together, we're going to watch the fire show, and we're there for like 5 minutes before Metrocon staff comes out and says, okay, canceled again, everyone go. So Scott and his handler like, plan B, we'll go to the pool in the hotel. Like, well, I don't have anything to do now, I'll go back to the hotel. So I walk back with him again to the hotel. So we go back into the hotel. We wait at the elevator. Scott's a little bit of adult ADD. I say a little. It's like herding chickens with their heads cut off while all are on like PCP. He's everywhere. You cannot contain the man. An elevator lets off, and a few fans of his come out. So he's like meeting, it's like quick sign autographs, talking with them. And the elevator's like, okay, they're holding the elevator, Like, a couple of his entourage get on, it's like, close. And the other elevator opens up, it's like, Scott, come on, elevator, come on! And he doesn't realize there was an elevator there for like another minute. It just clicks in his head, it was like, we tried to tell you, dude! So, it's like, just me, his one guard girl thing, his handler, and we're thinking, okay, stairs. We all turn, we move to the stairs. And handler and guard drop off at some point. We're on the 2nd floor, he's got to go to the 6th, I got to go to the 8th. So eventually it's just me and Scott walking up together, which was cool. It's cool as hell, because it's like the only time I actually got like standalone time with the man. I wish it had been under a little bit more casual setting, but it's my story. I have the stairwell. So we're just like joking back and forth as we go up the stairs. He stops at the 6th floor, and it's like, and he turns around. All right, Tyler, I'm heading to the pool. It's like my little fanboy heart fluttering. It's like, okay, I know you didn't look at my name tag that time. Thank you. Such a dork. So he says, okay, I'm getting changed. I'm heading to the pool after this. You want to catch me there? That's where I'll be. So I've got an invite to hang out with Scott poolside, and I think we have footage of my reaction. Can we play that? Okay, just got the end of it, I guess. But yeah, I was like, awesome! I got a personal invite from Scott McNeil. Okay, awesome. So I head up back to the room, I put my bag down, put my badge down, put all my stuff down. And I head back to the pool, I run into his handler again at the elevator. You know, we walk down to the pool together. This is where things go bad. Because it's not just like, it's a private, it's like a little, they've gathered tables together and it's just like a little party. You know, there's a few staff from Metrocon there. I sit down next to the handler, and no one makes a big deal of it. She didn't make a big deal of it. She's fine with me being right there. Spike Spencer was there. And, you know, and he eventually moves seats because Scott's going to sit like right where his donuts and beer are being set down. That's how you know which seat is Scott's, donuts and beer. So Spike Spencer sits down by me. You know, he's trading stories with the handler. And eventually, nobody around here is giving me any grief for being, you know, the guy nobody recognizes. So eventually, Goon A from Metrocon spots me and goes, okay, look, dude, you're new here. This is a private gathering. We do this every year, and I'm liable for everyone here. There's going to be drinking. It's going to get a little crazy. I'm responsible if anyone gets hurt. I don't know you. I don't trust you. I got to ask you to leave. You know, and apparently a personal invite from the guy whose party it is not good enough. You know, and I understand it's a private party. It's for the people who, you know, there's been, you know, I've known Scott since '08, and he's only really gotten to know me recently. You know, just being beyond a fanboy, now he's my friend. You know, now he knows me by name, knows my face, knows my tricks. You know, so this is the point, you know, so I have not quite reached the point where I'm sitting at the big boy table. Well, what I should have done is just, like, sit off to the side and, you know, find a seat near the pool, but all the ones close by were taken up, and I had my camera with me, so I didn't want to get it too close to the pool, because I'm a klutz, and this thing fell over like 8 times during the show. So, you know what, I cut my losses, I head back to the room, I head back up. I fought the instinct to head back down after Scott had gotten there, because he'd vouched for me then, but I didn't want to be the creepy stalker guy that came back and is like lurking around, Scott there, can I see Scott again? It's their private party, I didn't want to rain on it, I didn't want to be the jerk, I didn't want to butt in. I know it's going to happen next year, I know the etiquette, okay. Most likely it wasn't even an invite to the private table, he just said, well, I'll be poolside, so I don't know. You know, Scott, I didn't get to see Scott again that night, so I'll never know if it was a invite to the big boy table or, you know, I'll be around, I'll come and visit kind of thing. Whatever. It was a cool invite to have. It's nice to know. They do the party every year, so I'll be there next year. I will know etiquette. I'll just sit around and, you know, wave to Scott, and if he waves me over, awesome. If not, a little candid time. Whatever. So, yeah, I hate to end it on that story. I hate to end it on the bummer story of the whole trip. But, you know, it's still awesome. I mean, it's still very awesome to actually have some alone, just to have some time with Scott that wasn't being constricted by a line of people behind me waiting their turn. It was just very cool to just hang out. I'm like, don't confuse it for like blind fanboyism. Like when I get the weird autographs, when I try to hang out, when I try to run into the guy, it's not to be the creepy stalker fanboy. I would like to think I'm not like that. I'm not going to ever be the fan that goes, here's a lock of his hair, and here's a cheese sandwich he bit into 3 years ago, and in this little capsule, I saved one of his farts. No. What's important to me is the memento of the meeting. Like, I have one weird oddball autograph per meeting and per encounter, and the encounter is what's important to me. It's the story. I like having the story. So, you know, if I'm trying to hang out with Scott, you know, I want to have the story. I want to be able to say, you know, I hung out with one of the coolest guys you could ever meet. So, next year. Next year is my time. Next year I will have it. Probably not on footage. That party is theirs, and I feel like that shouldn't be shared with YouTube. I share my story and my experience at Metrocon every year. That's for you guys who don't get to see it. That's their experience. So I'm not going to intrude on that any more than I have to, and that's why I didn't go back down. That's why I didn't crash the party again. So, okay. But that's story time. And for those waiting for it, the BotCon experience videos will be up. I'll try to get the Metrocon footage out because I took so much footage. Metrocon is always like a 35 gig trip. And so now I've got to clear like 35 gigabytes of space from my hard drive. Got to clear up another 35 for editing space, and it's a lot of work. It's work I look forward to, but it's a lot of work. So, on that somewhat depressing note, I'm going to call it there. This thing is way too long as it is. Thank you for trudging through it. I apologize for being so long-winded, but, that's what story time leads to. So, wait for the new videos. All the convention footage will eventually be up. The panels I recorded. Just everything I could get my hands on. You'll see it eventually. So, watch for it. Until then.